Welcome back. All right, this guy I have on the show, he's very special to me. He's one of the first friends I made to IU East when I came here in the fall of my freshman year. It's been quite a journey for both of us here, but I'm here with Sam Roberts, a junior here on the IU East golf team. Sam, how did we get here?
I don't know, man. It's been fast.
It really
it's gone
has
by
been.
really fast.
Especially with COVID and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
The last time that we were actually together in person doing stuff was playing pool freshman year. It would have been second semester right before COVID hit.
Yep.
That was right before spring break.
Right before spring break. I remember getting all those emails that were like, hey, we're getting an extended spring break, and then next thing you know, it's very extended.
Now look at us. We all have online school and stuff.
Exactly.
But this is finals week, so just really quickly tell me, how are finals going?
As of right now, they're going pretty well. I got a couple classes to finish up. I know I got a long essay I still got to write this week, but hopefully that won't be too bad. It's just over a little case study. But for the most part, they've been going pretty well this year. Luckily.
Yeah, luckily, especially with all the craziness that's happened. But you're such a
Definitely.
busy man, and we've got a lot of stuff to talk about with all the different activities that you're involved in. But let's first start talking about golf, because it's really your main claim to fame, I guess you could say. One of the biggest programs that you were involved with that you actually got an award for recently was the first tee program here in Richmond. It's one of like 46 locations, I believe. And it's a big honor because you got ACE.
Yes.
Now, what does ACE mean for that program?
Well, in first tee, there are 5 different levels. You go through player, par, birdie, eagle, and ace. And then ace is like the crowning achievement of first tee. And I believe, looking back, I think I was the first in Indiana, if I'm not wrong. And to do that, there's 4 main projects in ACE, which is the golf portion, obviously, is one of them. And then community service outreach is another one. There's job resume application, different things like that. And then applying to college is the final project in that. And it takes quite a lot of time. They recommend around 2 years to complete everything for that level. So it was quite the journey.
Well, it's pretty crazy too. I mean, it sounds like a college level thing because you have to get 25 hours of class time per level. And on top of that, you've got community service. You have to do a couple of those projects that you mentioned. I mean, it's a full, like all-encompassing program. But how in the world did you even get started with it?
I got started when I was around 10 years old. I got started in the program, which I had golfed before, and my preconceived notion was that it was just for beginners, given the name First Tee. But once I joined, I found that was far from the case. And Bob Van Pelt and Sam Witherby really kind of took me under their wing and really helped me go through the process of each level, especially ACE. And then the main leaders for Indiana with Allie Beam and Roger Lundy, they helped me go through the ACE level. And then after that, it just went from there.
So once you reach the ACE level, is there anything else, or is that just the highest achievement that you can possibly get and then you're just done with the program?
Yes, that is the highest achievement of the program, then yes. Yep.
So you're just done now?
Yeah, I actually teach in the summer now there,
okay.
so it's come full circle for me.
So what's teaching like?
Well, you get a lot of beginners, but you also get a lot of people that have golfed for a couple of years, so you get a good mix. Definitely a lot of practice in during the summer as well. But teaching has been very rewarding because you get to see the kids actually progress over the summer. It may only be an 8 to 10 week program, but you really see a lot of strides in all the kids getting better.
And what's your teaching style like? Like, if you could describe yourself as a coach or a teacher, what are some qualities that you have?
I normally just sit back, let them hit a couple shots, and see what they think they need to do. And then once I figure out what they believe in their swing is most important or what feels most comfortable to them, then we try to tweak some other areas of their game so that way it doesn't mess up what's most comfortable to them already.
Okay, so you're taking what they feel comfortable with and then you're expanding upon it and really focusing on those weak spots.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
So when are you going to be the head coach of IU East?
I don't know.
That's a good question. Well, since we're on the topic of golf, let's talk about your history through golf. You said you've been playing for a long time. Just give me a brief overview of how you got started in golf and how you ended up at IU East.
Well, when I was very young, my parents obviously had to go to work, so they dropped me off at my grandparents. And then my granddad cut down some clubs for me, and I'd hit around in their yard. And one of my first irons was actually a blade iron, which, if you don't know, that's one of the harder irons to hit for any golfer, really. And only pros normally use those. But my granddad actually cut down a blade iron, and I would hit that in his yard along with like a small driver and I believe it was like a small like 9-iron or wedge or something. So that really got me involved in it, and I wanted to play just because I'd go over there every day and hit balls all the time, you know. And then I finally got into a little tournament when I was around 9 or 10. It was over at Forest Hills, which is our home course now, so that's also come full circle. And my first opponent actually was Jake Miller, which is #1 here at IU East as well. So, like I said, everything has come full circle for me with golf anyway, and with that tournament, with that being my first tournament, I was like, man, this is tough because Forest Hills is super hilly, and I had to carry my bag that day. It was the first time ever like carrying my bag, first time ever competing, but it was definitely a fun experience for me, and it's just gone from there.
And now you just got done with your fall season here at IU East. You know, it wasn't the most flashy of seasons, but you said that there was a really good tournament that you had that you wanted to share about. Tell me a little bit about that tournament.
Yeah, definitely. We had a tournament this year at our other home course of Highland, which is right across 70 from IU East. And team came through. We all shot our team record for that event, and I believe Jake had a solo record, if I'm not mistaken. And I had my personal record that day as well, and I went 75-72, and I wasn't even on the top 5 for that tournament. That's how good the top 5 guys were at that time. And we were able to mount a little bit of a comeback that second day. I think we were down by a couple coming out of the first day. Just came back the second day, really knocked it out of the park. I think went under par as the team. So it was exciting to see, for sure.
And as one of the older leaders, I guess you could say, on the team, you've gotten a lot of experience with this team here at IU East. You've seen a couple of different coaching changes. You've been to basically tournaments all over the country. So what's the team dynamic like? What's the culture like for this IU East men's golf team?
The team camaraderie is one to see. Everybody is just friends with everybody. We're all hanging out all the time. We actually just had like a gift exchange the other night, so that was pretty fun. And it's just fun to have a team where we all just get together, have a good time, and we're all actually truly friends outside of it too.
Now, is there any competition between the men's team and the women's team?
Sometimes, but normally not really. We play a couple tournaments with them, and we'll be a little competitive with them. But for the most part, we don't practice with them too much, or we don't compete in the same tournaments a lot. But whenever we are in the same tournament, we do compete a little bit. Yeah.
And they've got cooties too. So.
Yeah.
So looking ahead with your golf career, obviously we'll have the spring time coming up here soon, getting ready to prepare and just get basically not necessarily an off season, but kind of just really focusing on skills and getting better. What are some goals that you have going into this spring season and even looking forward ahead to next year?
Some goals I have right now are definitely lowering my average in golf. That's obviously the main goal.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
lowering
definitely.
the average is a good thing.
Definitely, yeah. But I also want to get a little bit stronger. We got a little bit of a workout program this off season with Reed, so that's been fun. And to do that, obviously getting stronger, that's going to increase our distances with our clubs, get us a little bit more accurate if we actually put the work in too. But it's a two-edged sword. And which means you got to put in the work on and off the course. Whether you can work out all you want, but if you don't practice on the course, it's not going to pay the dividends. So ultimately, I want to get the workouts in, lose a little bit of weight, get a little bit more power in my swing, but also not lose the accuracy, at least with my wedges that I have right now, because those were fun to see this last fall.
And apart from being a pro golfer here at IU East, you have a couple of the talents as well. One of them, a big one, is singing. You sing the national anthem for a lot of different sporting events, whether it's volleyball or basketball or things like that. Your dad, Aaron, also jumps in, but I gotta know, who do you think's better? Is it you or is it your dad?
I gotta say, I think the teams have a better record than when I've sang the national anthem than when he has. So.
And your dad wasn't happy about that at all when we brought that up.
No.
Both great singers. You've actually been a part of not a band per se, but a traveling. What's the number of singers? in it?
4. So there's a quartet, and then there's a piano player along with us. And we've sang from Kentucky all the way down to Myrtle Beach, and that's been pretty fun to be with those guys as well.
So did your dad start you on the singing career path, or did you just pick that up randomly?
A little bit of both, honestly, because he would always do concerts when I was younger from the quartet, but he also did a little bit of solo concerts as well. So I was always around singing, and then I started singing when I was very, very young, probably about the same time I picked up a golf club for the first time, and it's gone same as golf. It's just picked up from there.
And you serenade the ladies at every single event. I always try to bring it up at the games, saying he is single, ladies. He is single. Keep it up there. We'll have his number scrolling across the bottom of the screen if you want to hit that up real quick. But I don't know. It's always been an inside joke. We've always brought that up. But
yeah.
I mean, singing is really, we don't really have a choir program here or a singing program at IU East.
Right.
So do you ever think in the future that might be something that IU East could look into?
Well, I do know they have a little bit of a choir, but I don't think it's too big member-wise. They're trying to keep growing that. I haven't had a chance to be with it just because with golf and then all my classes too. I haven't had a chance to really be a part of that program just yet. But hopefully, if time lets up a little bit in senior year, I might be able to hop in there a little bit.
Yeah, because there's also the pet band too.
Yep.
So multiple options for music here at IU East.
Yep.
At least from what I've seen.
Definitely.
Getting into it. And finally, one of your other maybe hidden talents. I don't know if you still do it, but I wanted to bring it up. Do you still stream on Twitch?
Oh, a little bit.
just a little bit. Okay, well, what do you stream? What's the handle? Gotta let the fans know.
Well, I gotta say this off the top. I'm not good at video games. It's just the way it is. I do that more for like the memes of it, the more for the fun of it, just to have fun with an audience, Stream different games. I'm gonna try to start streaming a little bit of more NBA 2K once the Christmas break starts, and then go from there because I got some ideas for that. That'll be fun.
Got some ideas?
Yeah.
Can we hear one?
I don't know.
You're gonna okay. You can't keep a secret. You can't bring that up and keep it a secret.
Well, it's just different challenges, different challenges in the game, such as like alley-oops only, stuff like that. Trying to dunk only, or only using one player the whole game, trying to break Wilt Chamberlain's record, obviously, which for 2K isn't too hard, but
it's a video game, so.
Exactly. So.
But you're also a hooper on and off the court. I've seen you do a couple layups.
Oh yeah, that's about the extent of that.
Yeah, but with all of this great stuff moving forward, you got your golf career, singing, streaming. Hopefully, might become a big thing. You're involved in so much here at IU East. So my final question is, for somebody that wants to make the transition from high school into college, who wants to stay involved, who wants to stay active, maybe they have a few different talents. Maybe they want to join a sports team. Maybe they want to do music. Maybe they want to do a hobby like streaming or something like that. How have you learned to balance all of these different aspects and still live a fulfilling college life?
It takes a lot of disciplined time management. which sounds the obvious answer, but honestly, that is what it is. You gotta figure out, first and foremost, academics come first. So you gotta figure out when assignments are due, when you have to start them, when you're gonna plan on finishing them, such as that essay I had brought up earlier. I know I have a plan for that, when I'm gonna start to finish it, and go from there. And then once that adds on, if you are on a sports team, obviously you want that to come next because you want the sports team to do well. So then you got to factor in practice time around your homework. Like a big thing that I do is I do homework at night, just because when I wake up in the morning, it's hard to get my brain going at first. You don't want to really do any work in the morning. But I do my best work normally at night, and that's what you got to look at coming out of high school is when will this fit in the schedule best? When can I practice? When can I go hang out with friends? When can I do my homework? And it's a real balancing act. It's almost like a circus act, And but like I said, the biggest thing is just disciplined time management. And once you get that, it's not too crazy.
And have you really ever faced a time in college where you were like, man, I am so overwhelmed, I can't do this? Like, have you ever hit like a brick wall in what you've been doing?
I've definitely hit a brick wall, at least a couple times, but as long as you just keep pushing, no wall is strong enough.
Amen. So thank you so much, Sam, for joining us on the show. Good luck with the upcoming spring interval when it comes to golf, and also good luck with the rest of your college as well.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And this has been another episode of Inside IUE Sports. Keep in mind you can follow schedule changes and news at IUERedBulls.com. Please remember to pick up all trash, personal belongings, kids, and/or spouses as you leave the stream. And once again, this has been Inside IUE Sports.